You look bored, they said. Restore a car, they said. It'll be easy, clean fun, they said. So I bought a car to restore. They lied. Restoration is a dirty, thankless job, and this dirty, thankless job is all mine. So what I'm doing now is I am laying out all these pieces on the sheet for cutting. When I'm doing that, try to get them set so that I can get the maximum amount of items with the minimum amount of scrap. What I'm doing is I'm using this blue marker. Some people use Dykem. This happens to work pretty good. I've tried using black. I don't know why, but for some reason the line doesn't show up as good when I use black as well as it does when I use the blue marker. So what I'm doing is, you'll notice the blue marker covers a wider area than the pattern itself. I'm going to set up along the line with a ruler, and I am going to scribe it. Hear that wonderful sound? Oop, I'm getting a little bit off my line there. That's all right. If we need to, we can always touch these things up with a grinder, but to be honest with you, that's a flange edge, so it's probably not going to matter, because if the flange is a little bit wider or a little bit skinnier. This right here, I don't like that this is so close to the edge of the blue, so I will widen that. The other thing I'm doing is, these are the factory edges, and I'm trying to make as much use of the factory edge to get straight edges where I need them as I possibly can. I don't always succeed, but that's what I'm trying to do. All right. That takes care of those. One more thing I should do while I've got the pattern on here is I should center punch where I need to put holes. So I know there's going to have to be one right there. Get that set right. There's going to have to be one right there. One right there. One right there. Oops. One right there. A little bit off. A little bit off the table. What fell? Huh. Oh. No, I can't see anything that fell. Sounded like something fell on the ground. Guess it didn't. So that takes care of that one. This one here, same sort of thing. Get a good spot. And scribe the line. Now, for whatever reason, this doesn't look perfectly straight. I don't know why. But my suspicions is, seeing how this pattern fit pretty good into the hole in the car, my best bet is to go with it. This part right here I'm going to have to hand scribe. More than likely, around this arc for the drive shaft tunnel and transmission tunnel. I'm probably going to have to do some trimming around that. Get this little notch right here marked. Come over here and get this. See if I can put a ruler down along there and get a better edge. That looks better. Now then, is there any spot I missed? No, a little hard to see some of it, but I think I've got them all. All right. Come up here, hit this line. Hit that. Come along this edge. And scribe along there. Then we will hit this spot here. That little piece right there. So, that's my piece. You can see I've got it all scribed out. You can see I've got the little spots where the screw holes have to go, where the center is. Now I haven't done anything with this because I'm not sure I'm going to cut that out yet. If I get really good with the plasma torch, I might try cutting this out freehand. To be honest with you, there's a little flip-up door that goes over this, so even if it doesn't look pretty, nobody's going to be able to see it anyway, so it probably won't matter. Let's look at, now, I did the passenger side one. Why didn't I do the one for the driver's side? Well, the reason is, what I want to do is I want to use this same line, and I want to hope that I get this line as straight as possible here so that I can use it for the top edge of this flange cut here. Like so. Hope y'all can see that. If I was actually shearing the metal out, or if it was being cut out on a turret press, it would almost be that close. If I was shearing it on a shear, these pieces would move that way a little bit. I'd do a cut across this way, then I'd flop this, and those pieces would be done. And then I could probably flop this, and so on and so forth. I don't have a turret press, I don't have a shear. Yeah, I've got that one, but I'm not going to try to shear this large of a piece on that machine, because this is 18 gauge, that's designed to work with 20 gauge. It will cut 18 gauge, but I've got 4 foot by 2 foot wide piece here that I'm trying to manhandle around, and that's just a little difficult. So I have this all taken care of. Lots of little magnets. If you get them the wrong way around, they just flip over on you. So let's, and by the way, I took a picture after I laid these pieces all out on here. I took a picture with my cell phone standing on a chair to make sure that I knew what I wanted to have for a layout for these. I'll include that picture in the video right here. Let's get the rest of these magnets up. All right. Take all these other little pieces and get them out of the way. By the way, everybody thinks that stainless steel is not magnetic. Well, some stainless steels aren't. This is a stainless steel ruler, obviously magnetic. Somebody that knows what they're doing could tell you the exact type of stainless steel that is. I can't. I just know that's stainless and it is magnetic. So let me clean all this stuff off. I'm going to get out my torch and I am going to try cutting probably this piece out first, since how it's pretty much all straight lines. And then I will I'll probably set up the pattern for the other one on this side, cut it out, then cut this piece out, and we'll see where things go from there. So I will bring you back when I have everything set up to do the cutting. All right, folks, changed my mind a little bit. Shut this thing off for just a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these pieces out with a little bit extra left over, and then use the little shear there to try to get a fine cut through here and along these back sides. I wish I had a larger heavy duty shear, but I don't, so I'm going to go with what I got. Once I get this cut out, then I'll set it to the side and I'll cut this piece off, and hopefully things will work out good. Now, the one thing I've learned is don't try to push it. With a plasma torch, pull it. If you pull it, you can get really good straight lines. If you try to push it, you're going to wiggle it all over the place. So pull, not push. All right, let's fire this puppy up and see what we get. I guess maybe I'll put some gloves on first. When I was a teenager, I used to use oxygen and propane to cut up sheet metal in cars and junk and stuff to take in and sell for scrap. And I never wore gloves. And the reason I never wore gloves was because you had shit flying all over the place, and I didn't have long gloves. All I had was the short ones, and with the short ones, the metal would, those big hot sparks would fly up, fall down inside, and if you didn't have gloves on, they would just hit your skin and scoot right off. If you had gloves on, then they just burned like hell. So times have changed. Let's do this. Wait for this puppy to wind up. So I'm on 220 volts using 30 amps. Got my ground, got my settings all done. Let's see what happens. Get my finger in there first. Alright, that worked pretty good. Shit, about set to trip over my cord. Let's try to do a little bit of cutification this way now. I'm going to shut that off for a second. Now, unfortunately, when I got right here, I wiggled a little bit. Let's see. I'll pick this damn thing up now. But honestly, this is not a perfect straight edge. But to be honest with you, that's a pretty damn good straight cut. This, like I said, I wiggled around a little bit there, but aside from that, it's mostly straight. Maybe I could have just cut that with a, oh well, we're gonna find out. All right. Let's set things up for the next cut. I happen to know that this next cut, this is actually a flange right here. So when it's cut, it's going to end up being bent in. Is that a flange? Yeah, that's a flange. It gets bent this way in. So if it's a little wiggity, no big deal. But given the success I had on that last one, I think I'm just going to cut it like so. Those are, let's go about there instead. I think I got to change out my tripod. This one seems a little flippity floppity. All right, fire and hole. And we're live. Right here, something very bad happened that I didn't catch until editing. My wireless microphone flaked out and stopped working. The battery was fine, it just quit. The only reason I can think of is it was getting so much radio frequency interference from the plasma torch it couldn't handle it. All right, I'm going to try cutting some steel with that little shear. I have a bizarre contraption set up. Some of y'all may have heard of Rube Goldberg. If you haven't, look him up. He was a cartoonist many decades ago that made lots of bizarre contraptions, and who the fuck is calling me now? I hate cell phones. Want to go on record saying that. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. This is kind of a Rube Goldberg contraption. Got a rope hooked up to the handle, which has got a board down there on the bottom of it. And the reason is, even at 270, I don't have the upper body strength to pull down on this hard enough to make that thing cut. What I'm hoping is I can step on it and get a lot of down pressure and cut the thing with it. We're going to find out. This has all the earmarks of a bad mistake, but what the hell? My life is full of bad mistakes. Let me make sure that y'all can see this. And hopefully there won't be any blood flying. Let's go for it. Well, something went. How about that, folks? We cut a piece of metal. That worked. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't elegant, but it worked. We'll set this up and do that one more time. Oops, I gotta flatten that sumbitch out. Be right back. Had a bit of a curled up edge right there. Slide this in here. That lined up with that mark. Get that lined up with that mark. Clamp it all down. Can't see that very well on that side. Looks like right there is where I want to be. Let's go for it, folks. Come on, you bastard. Oh, shit. Fucking cell phones, god damn it. There we go. Tell you what, folks. Knowing what I know now, I can tell you that I'm probably just going to cut these damn things It cut part way through and then it just kind of stopped and wanted to be a damn battle. And you saw I had to get up and jump on it. And it smeared a little bit, which means, I know exactly what that means. Here's what happened. The center of this blade, instead of staying tight, bowed back. So while I was trying to make the cut, it bowed back, which opened up a gap, which, if you look right along here, that's smeared. Down here it cut clean, over here it cut clean, but right here, which would be right about where the center of the blade was, instead of slicing it clean, it smeared the metal down, and you can see that right there. At least I hope you can. If you look closely at the edge of the metal down here, it's fairly thin, fairly thin. All of a sudden it gets thicker right in here, and then it gets thin again. So that's what happened. If you're making shortcuts where you're using this side of the blade or this side of the blade, you're probably fine. But this is allowing that center of that upper blade to twist, push back out of the way. There is a thing on the back of it. I'll take a picture of that right now, my cell phone. Get some light back here. Get off there, you son of a bitch. Let's do video. Damn it. Come on, stupid. There, video. Okay. Play your fucking game. Get back here, you bastard. Jesus Christ, I hate these damn things. All right. This right here is supposed to adjust in to keep that center part of the blade from twisting back. Look at the size of this brace. I mean, that thing is massive. You got 1.25 inches of steel there. You've got, this is a huge L-shaped piece that's supposed to keep it from bending around. And then you've got this strap across the top that's supposed to press and push that in. Still not enough. Because what's happening is that is, it's just obviously bending out. So that's what's happening, folks. The remaining cut on this piece here, there's a flange on the tops of these. It has to get bent over. So I made them 5/16. They're probably just a tiny bit less than that. I'm going to cut that with the plasma cutter and do it that way instead of trying to fight that bitch. Piece of equipment. That piece of equipment. Grab the torch. And away we go. Okay, folks, that's it for this episode of BugeyeBob. I really appreciate you watching and hope that, like me, you've learned a few things in this episode. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video and share it with others. You can help support this project by becoming a member at patreon.com/BugeyeBob in the link below. Patreon paid members get early access to the videos and in the future will enjoy question and answer sessions and live streams. As this channel grows, future Patreon member benefits will include bonus or extended episodes, member names and credits, and the ability to suggest topics for future videos. You can follow this BugeyeBob restoration on YouTube and Facebook at the links below. Once again, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and supporting this channel. And remember that sometimes the most important job you can do is a dirty, thankless job.